A former NASA astronaut steps into the spotlight with explosive claims. Aliens are real, UFOs have visited Earth, and the government has been hiding the truth for decades. If these were the ramblings of a conspiracy theorist, they might be dismissed. But they came from Dr. Edgar Mitchell, an Apollo 14 astronaut, the sixth man to walk on the moon. A man with a doctorate from MIT and a national hero who spent hours on the lunar surface is now proclaiming, "We are not alone. UFOs are real. This has been covered up for over 60 years." Mitchell's statements have stunned the world. What compelled a man of such scientific and professional stature to make such bold declarations? In this investigative feature, we take you on a thrilling journey, from Mitchell's shocking claims to the most famous UFO incidents in history: Roswell 1947, Phoenix Lights 1997, the Pentagon UFO videos, and testimonies from insiders and whistleblowers. This is the story of a mystery hidden in plain sight, a tale where science, secrecy, and the unknown collide. Before we begin unraveling these secrets, don't forget to subscribe to World Mysteries, your portal into the strangest and most fascinating corners of our reality. New revelations await. The astronaut's bold claim: aliens are real. Edgar Mitchell wasn't just anyone. He was part of NASA's Apollo 14 mission, walking on the moon alongside Alan Shepard in 1971 and holding the record for the longest moonwalk at the time, 9 hours and 17 minutes. With an advanced scientific background and 2 aerospace engineering degrees, Mitchell was the epitome of reason and logic. Yet, in a bombshell 2008 radio interview, Mitchell declared he was certain that intelligent life beyond Earth exists and has already made contact with our planet. He claimed he had received privileged information from military and intelligence insiders during his time at NASA, which confirmed that Earth had indeed been visited. According to Mitchell, UFO sightings were real, and governments, especially the US, had concealed these encounters for over 6 decades. He described alien beings as small humanoids with large heads and eyes, the exact depiction popularized in countless sci-fi films and abduction stories. "There's no doubt that life exists throughout the universe," he said. "We are not alone. I can absolutely confirm that." Mitchell further claimed that the alien technology far surpasses ours, and that if extraterrestrials were hostile, we would have been gone by now. Fortunately, he believed they were peaceful. He also pointed to the infamous Roswell incident of 1947, stating unequivocally that Roswell happened and that the U.S. government had actively suppressed the truth ever since. NASA, as expected, distanced itself from Mitchell's views. A spokesperson for the agency said, "Dr. Mitchell is a great American, but we do not share his views on this matter." NASA reiterated that it does not monitor UFOs and has no involvement in any cover-up. Yet, Mitchell's credentials made his statements impossible to ignore. Could it be that the truth had indeed been buried all these years? His revelations reignited global curiosity and skepticism alike, urging a deeper look into the government's role in the UFO phenomenon. The Roswell mystery of 1947, the birth of a conspiracy. Roswell, New Mexico, 1947, the name that birthed all alien conspiracies. Even Edgar Mitchell, who grew up near the area, firmly believed that what happened in Roswell was real. It all began when Mac Brazel, a local rancher, discovered strange debris scattered across his field. At the time, the U.S. was in the midst of a flying saucer frenzy, with UFO sightings reported almost daily. Brazel turned the material over to the nearby Roswell Army Airfield. On July 8, 1947, the military issued a shocking press release. They had recovered a flying disc from the debris field. Newspapers around the country published headlines declaring the capture of a UFO. For a moment, it seemed the mystery of alien life had been confirmed. But within 24 hours, the story changed. The military quickly retracted the statement, claiming instead that the object was a weather balloon, not a flying saucer. Major Jesse Marcel, an intelligence officer, was photographed with what he said was balloon wreckage, thin foil, sticks, and rubber. This sudden reversal fueled suspicions. Why would the military first declare it a flying disc, only to retract it, and why so quickly? These contradictions planted the seed of government cover-up theories that would grow for decades. By the 1980s, interest in Roswell reignited with books and documentaries alleging that an alien craft and possibly alien bodies had been recovered, and the U.S. government had hushed it all up. Eyewitnesses came forward with claims of strange creatures and secret military transport. In 1994, the U.S. Air Force released a report admitting that the weather balloon story was a lie, but the real truth, they said, was no less secret. The debris was from Project Mogul, a top-secret Cold War mission using high-altitude balloons to spy on Soviet nuclear tests. To explain eyewitness claims of alien bodies, a follow-up report in 1997 claimed these were crash test dummies used in parachute experiments. But for many, this only deepened the mystery. Why so many lies? Why change the story multiple times? To this day, Roswell remains the most iconic UFO incident in history, not because of what was found, but because of what was hidden, or at least seemed to be. Phoenix Lights 1997. Thousands of witnesses, one massive UFO. March 13, 1997. The city of Phoenix, Arizona witnessed something that would shake the public to its core. That night, thousands of people across the state, from Nevada to the southern Arizona desert, looked up to see a massive, V-shaped formation of lights gliding silently across the sky. Some reported that it blocked out the stars behind it, suggesting a solid object of incredible size. The event became known as the Phoenix Lights, and it quickly became one of the largest mass UFO sightings in modern history. The lights hovered in eerie silence for several minutes, moving in ways that defied conventional aircraft. Eyewitnesses described the lights as otherworldly, with one woman stating, "I know what I saw. It was not from this earth." Even the governor of Arizona at the time, Fife Symington, later came forward. Though he initially downplayed the event with a press conference parodying alien panic, years later he confessed, "I saw it too." He described the object as otherworldly, silent, and massive, unlike anything he had ever seen in his military or aviation career. But what was it? The official explanation came from the military. They had been conducting exercises that night, dropping military flares over a nearby training range. The flares, they claimed, explained the lights seen in the sky. Many accepted this explanation, but others, including witnesses who said the object flew directly over their neighborhoods, weren't convinced. They insisted the lights were attached to a single, giant craft that moved too slowly and too smoothly to be flares. To this day, the Phoenix Lights remain a point of fierce debate. Was it a test of secret military aircraft, a mass misinterpretation, or a visitation from something beyond our planet? Whatever the truth, it's clear that something very strange occurred that night, and thousands of eyes saw it. Pentagon UFO videos, when mystery steps into the light. For decades, governments denied knowledge of UFOs, but that changed dramatically in recent years when the U.S. Department of Defense released 3 declassified videos, footage captured by U.S. Navy fighter pilots during routine training missions. These now famous clips, known as FLIR 1, Gimbal, and Go Fast, show unidentified flying objects moving at extraordinary speeds, sometimes performing maneuvers that defy the known laws of physics. The objects have no visible wings, no exhaust plumes, and accelerate with impossible velocity. One of the most startling encounters came in 2004, when 2 Navy pilots from the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group encountered a tic-tac-shaped craft that hovered motionlessly, then shot off at incredible speed. Commander David Fravor, one of the pilots, described it as not of this world. In April 2020, the Pentagon officially acknowledged the videos, stating they were real and unexplained. The move was unprecedented. It marked the first time a major military institution openly admitted to encountering something in the sky that could not be identified. The term UFO was replaced with UAP, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, a rebranding that reflected a new, more serious approach. This was no longer the domain of fringe theorists. The U.S. Navy even issued new protocols for pilots to report UAP encounters. The implication was clear. Governments had begun taking UFOs seriously, not as science fiction, but as potential national security concerns. These admissions were the first cracks in a wall of silence that had stood for over half a century. Whistleblowers speak, we know more than you think. Edgar Mitchell was not the only insider to speak up. Over the years, numerous military and intelligence officials have come forward with claims that the truth is being hidden from the public. But perhaps the most shocking came in July 2023, when former U.S. intelligence officer David Grusch testified under oath before Congress. He claimed that the U.S. government has long operated a secret crash retrieval program, recovering both alien craft and non-human biological entities. Grusch said he had spoken to over 40 credible witnesses and knew the exact locations where the recovered UAPs were stored. Though he hadn't seen them personally, he insisted the evidence was real and that a powerful cabal within the government was preventing disclosure. Also testifying that day were two Navy pilots, including David Fravor, who had personally encountered UAPs during missions. They described the objects as technologically superior, with no visible propulsion and no clear origin. Though the Pentagon denied Grusch's claims, his willingness to testify under penalty of perjury sparked public interest and congressional concern. Lawmakers promised further investigations and even passed legislation to force disclosure of UAP-related records. It seems the veil of secrecy is finally beginning to lift. For decades, people like Mitchell were dismissed. Now, their words echo louder than ever. Science responds. Skepticism and cautious curiosity. While the stories of alien contact grow louder, the scientific community remains cautious. Most scientists agree life probably exists elsewhere in the universe, but they are skeptical of the claim that aliens have visited Earth. Astronomers like Dr. James McGaugh, himself a former pilot, argue that no verifiable evidence of extraterrestrial visitation has ever been produced. Many UFO sightings, he says, can be explained by weather phenomena, human error, classified military projects, or even optical illusions. Still, the recent shift in government openness has forced even NASA to take notice. In 2022, NASA assembled an independent UAP study team to examine these phenomena with a scientific lens. The team released a report in 2023 concluding that while they found no evidence of alien life, many UAPs remain unexplained and deserve further study. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson acknowledged the uncertainty. We don't know what these UAPs are. That's why we're studying them. For now, science offers no definitive answers, only questions. And perhaps that's what makes the mystery so enduring. Final thoughts. What truth lies above? Edgar Mitchell passed away in 2016, but his words still reverberate across time and space. We are not alone. From the dry plains of Roswell to the skies over Phoenix, from declassified Navy footage to congressional testimony, from a whisper in a NASA corridor to a statement before the world, a story has been building, one with pieces scattered across decades of silence, secrecy, and denial. We may not yet know the full truth, but one thing is certain: the mystery is no longer just science fiction. It's real, it's global, and it's growing. Are we standing at the edge of a cosmic revelation, or are we still chasing shadows in the dark? Whatever the answer, the skies above remain filled with wonder and questions. As the famous saying from the X-Files reminds us, the truth is out there. And one day, perhaps sooner than we think, we may finally find it. What do you think? Do you believe Edgar Mitchell's claims were true? Are governments really hiding the truth about extraterrestrial contact? Or is it all just smoke and mirrors? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you believe. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to World Mysteries. We'll be back soon with more secrets, sightings, and stories from the shadows of our reality. Until then, keep your eyes on the skies.